Okay, um, let's go ahead and finish up our discussion on taxes. This is at the very end. And it's been quite an enjoyable ride, I hope. um, and today we're going to talk about our city of Los Angeles. Um, I know that our textbook and outside sources are going to focus on kind of an average of other cities. LA is different. Okay, we have our own thing. All cities have their own thing. And I'll mention a few ways that our city is different than other cities. First, we know our city is a big city. We're the second largest city in the country. That makes a big difference. Um, and as I bump into them along the road, we'll get into it. But look, most city governments get the most money from property taxes. Okay, property taxes are taxes paid on on property, on home owners. If you own a home, you pay property tax. If you own a business, you pay property tax. If you own an apartment or you're a real estate developer, you pay property tax. Now, in our city, because of a proposition passed in the 70s, we don't get as much property tax as we might if it were not for this prop. I think it was Prop 13. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. In which said that property tax can't be raised more than sorry about that. Property tax cannot be raised more than something like 1.25% per year, which is great if you're a homeowner or a business owner, a real estate developer, a farmer, and you have a lot of property. Because it makes it so that your property tax goes up really, really slowly, which oftentimes allows people to stay in their houses or to keep their business or their farm longer than in some states where property tax can go up whatever they want. I have a cousin who lives in Illinois, and she tells me her property tax is higher than her mortgage because her state allowed the government to raise rates really quickly. There are also provisions in place that allow for kind of a handoff of property or businesses without reassessment. Because that's the thing, right, is that property values have gone up dramatically. Just kind of throwing numbers around, I would say my mother's house has gone up 10 times since 1980. Her price has gone up 800, 1,000%. But her property tax bill has probably gone up 40%, or maybe 50. And that gap there is money that the state could be getting. It's not just from her, it's from everyone. And she bought in 1980. If you're bought in the 60s, like my grandmother, who's no longer with us, but people her age could theoretically see even larger windfall benefits of not having this reassessment. And this, then if you can pass it on, right? Let's say you can take that property and pass it on somehow through a trust, or I don't know how they do it, then you don't see property taxes going up as quickly as you might in other cases. And that oftentimes someone will die, and then the child or the grandchild will get the property, and then they reassess the property. Say, oh, well, your property is worth blank, and then they take the, I think it's 2.5%, 2.25% of the purchase price, and that becomes your property tax bill, something like that. Maybe, yeah, I think I'm not 100% on this one, but maybe it's 1.25% of the final price. Not 2.25. I'm not sure, but it's something like that. And bottom line, the property tax is low in California, which means the city of Los Angeles is going to get less property tax revenue Okay, there's also this fees and taxes, and the third source would, this is sometimes sales tax, special taxes. The third source would be taxes on utility users, DWP, and some cities, including ours, have a sales tax. Okay, our city sales tax is 0.25%. Let's look at real numbers, can we? I'm gonna go now to our budget. And this stuff is all public information. Take a look, folks. This website is a website that anyone can go to at any time, and we can check out where our money's being spent. Okay, so we made $10.5 billion as a city last year. Here's the budget year. Here's new information. And, well, the majority of it came from property tax. Here's your licenses and permits and fees, business taxes, passed by utility taxes in this discussion. That was from an older year. Here's our 0.025 sales tax. This tax is a special tax that we agreed to try and help homeless people. And you can see down the line, smaller taxes. Okay, but this was only the general fund. You can see special funds. Now I looked at special funds and I said, what? Because the biggest one, there's nothing there. Forfeited Asset Trust Fund, which is the biggest part of this special fund. That's $3.2 billion special fund. You can't get information on. So what's going on there? When you click on it, it's empty. You're like, oh, okay. But sewer construction and maintenance fund, the fund is a DWP fund. They got over $1 billion on. That kind of stuff costs a lot of money to make sure that sewers and our pipes work. And we want that to work. You don't want your sewer to back up and then all of a sudden you flush the toilet and everything comes up. No, you don't want that, right? Solid Waste Resources Fund, okay, that's also part of the trash bill. Prop A, Local Transit Fund, okay, we'll take it. This probably has to do with subways, building and safety, and you can see step by step, special gas tax, property tax, city levy for bond redemption, right? City employees retirement fund, all of these anti-gridlock fund, Prop C, that's another thing that the people voted on and approved, and we're getting some money for it every year. Street lighting maintenance fund, thank you. I want lit streets, right? I don't want to live in it. Storm what? All of these are small revenue funds. Let's keep looking. Whatever this is, available balances. And you can see a lot of these, they're not going to give you the data on the zoo fund or the housing opportunities fund. But you do see the building and safety here, and solid waste, sewer construction. Okay, we get it. Bottom line, and I think when we really look at it, the large majority of the money that our city gets is from property tax. Then permits and fees, and there's a lot of complaints about this one. They say, oh, it takes too long to get stuff done in California. Too many permitting stuff. Okay, maybe it does. It's hard to get a lot of stuff done, and maybe it's something we can work on. But anyways, this is where the city gets its money, mostly from property tax. Next, we're going to find out where they spend it.